You know what it is, DJ E-Rock in the building, broadcasted live from Culture Kings, Las Vegas. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got the XFL Vipers in the building. Yo, introduce yourselves real quick and the position that you play.
Yes, sir. Jalen McClendon, quarterback.
Deandre Torrey, running back.
Man, how you guys like Vegas so far? This is your first time actually here at Culture Kings, Las Vegas, correct?
Yeah.
Well, what's your first reaction when you walk into this place?
Obviously, like how big it is. Like, you know, like obviously from like shopping online, you know like what they got, but seeing it in person,
Yeah.
pretty dope. Yeah.
It's insane. It's a lot. I mean, there's over 1,000 hats on the wall. So it's like, yo, you walk in, that hat wall is like literally like, oh, no way.
Yeah, crazy.
Like, what about yourself? What's your, like, you know, your favorite part of the store thus far?
I think probably the hat wall, yeah. Like,
Hat wall's crazy.
I'm a big hat guy, and I never seen them like that before.
Fitted or snapbacks or truckers like you're wearing right now?
Fitted. I'm a
Fitted?
guy.
Okay, that's what's up. First off, where are you guys from originally? Born and raised where? And, like, you know, what's the upbringing story real quick?
I'm from born and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
Grew up single parent home, 2 younger sisters. That's just about it. Grew up playing ball my whole life. So
Nice. And yourself?
Moss Point, Mississippi. Stayed there my whole life. Then went to college in Texas. So a little familiar with our little spot that we staying at. But yeah, man, just been fighting adversity my whole life, but just glad to be here.
I'm happy you guys are here too.
Yeah.
So how long you guys been playing football? You said your whole entire life, and you know football's been life for how long now?
Shoot, since like 6, 7 years old.
And how old are you now?
27.
27. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a long time.
Long time.
That's a long time. How about you?
Man, as long as I can remember, I was playing all type of sports.
All type of sports.
Yeah, everything. I'm 24 years old now. Can't imagine life without sports.
For sure. That's like, you know, how I look at me doing radio. I've always wanted to be on the radio like my whole entire life. I remember being like, you know, 10 years old and mimicking what they would do, like, you know, like DJing on the radio. I didn't have turntables yet or anything. I had no microphone, nothing like that. But then I remember, like, you know, like having like air turntables. You know how people play the air guitar? Like I would have like air turntables and stuff like that. And my dad used to walk in going like, yo, what the hell are you doing? Like, man, I'm air DJing right now. But, you know, the way you guys look at sports, it's the same way that I look at DJing. I don't think I could ever really, you know, imagine my life like without it, at least in some form or whichever. You know what I mean?
So who's your like your inspo? Like
my inspiration? So locally, I used to listen to the radio like forever. I'm born and raised in the Bay Area in San Francisco, California.
E40.
Was that
E40?
Yo, hey, I got a great E40 story too, man. If you're a fan, yo, that is my guy. He's like my big brother.
Oh yeah.
And I wouldn't be here today without him, man. It's a blessing to have like him, like someone that was like my hero, become one of my mentors. Like not even in music, but just in life in general.
Yeah.
And I got to like literally like get that relationship from DJing, which is amazing. But I'd say my biggest inspiration is probably a guy locally now here in Vegas. His name is DJ Franzen. I don't know if you guys you know, are familiar with him, but Franzen was like, you know, a really big he was like a dual threat on the radio. He could DJ, throw it down, but he can also, like, you know, talk. And he can have that conversation. You know, he had that charm, that swag. And I always wanted to be a person that could do both. And so I would say, like, he was probably my biggest inspiration in this whole entire business. And I ended up being his intern at the age of, like, maybe 15.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I ended up being his intern on the radio station out there. And, you know, fast forward, you know, a good amount of time. I won't date myself, you know. But, okay, you know, fast forward a good amount of time. Here we are in Vegas, and we're still rocking, you know, like it was day one. So I'm very grateful for that. You know, speaking of inspirations, who are some of the players that you guys idolized growing up?
I'll say growing up, like, I wasn't even really a big basketball player, but LeBron was an inspiration for me, just like throughout all assets of sports. Like the way he dominated the game. Like that's who I look to, and like I want to dominate like that, even though it's a different sport. But for my sport personally, I used to watch Barry Sanders a lot. I know he's old. Yeah, he's an old guy. But that's who I try to model my game after, because I feel like he the best.
Barry had that movement, man.
Yeah, he do.
Oh, man. Yo, he would put the smack down, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he put the smack down.
And Barry the best to ever do it.
I mean, what are some of the takeaways from Barry's game that you use in yours today?
I'd say just his elusiveness and the ability to see the hole but not run right to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's all about the setup, you know, what you can sell to make the defense flow a certain way that you can get back on the knee.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And then you play quarterback, so, you know, I'm sure you idolized a couple quarterbacks growing up and whatnot, right?
Yeah. Biggest one, I'll probably say Brett Favre. Yeah, Brett
Favre. Okay,
yeah.
okay,
That's a
okay.
Mississippi native right there. Shout out to the set. You know what I'm saying?
But nah, like just watch him growing up for Green Bay, like watch how he just sling the ball around the field, like have fun doing it. That was probably the biggest thing. Like not even how he threw it, but like him like having fun and like just doing like kind of playing it like a kid game, you know. So
always having fun.
Yeah, always
having fun, never losing that.
Yeah,
you know? It's important.
And then, Cam Newton was probably was another one. Just
okay,
how he changed the game, and he was in Charlotte too. But so yeah,
that's what's up.
Cam and Brett.
How many Panther games have you been to?
I haven't. I wouldn't say I'm a Panthers fan though.
Well, but you're a Cam fan.
Yeah,
so,
I'm a Cam fan, but I'll probably say like 4 or 5 games.
4 or 5 games.
Yeah, 4 or 5 games.
And I'm sure every game that you had attended, both you guys probably, every football, professional sport game that you guys attended when you guys were younger, you guys would envision yourselves like on that field,
right,
and stuff. Like, yo, how was that? Like that whole entire like, you know, process of just like, you know, when you felt that moment, like, yo, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to go pro. Like, how was that moment in general?
I can't really even think of an exact moment.
Mm-hmm.
So like from the moment I started playing football, like maybe 5, 6 years old, I knew like this is what I wanted to do. And I won't say it was a moment, but I could tell like my mindset and my work ethic like from a very young age was like different from the guys who played with me. Like I could tell that I had a certain passion for it that they didn't. Like they liked to play football, but I loved to play football. And that's what I wanted to do in my life. So I knew from a very young age that I had to outwork everybody because I wasn't like blessed with, you know, 6'6" right here. when a big kid. So I had to make sure I was grinding, man, so I can get where I wanted to go.
And to piggyback off him, one crazy fact actually, I ain't hit my growth spurt till I was like 10th grade in high school. Like I was
way.
Yeah, I was.
So you went from like literally like here to like here out of nowhere.
I was like 5. My freshman year, I started on varsity. I was 5'9" and like 160 or something like that.
Wow.
And then, but my dad tall, and like my whole mom's side of the family like tall or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew I was gonna be tall. It was just a matter of when. But yeah, I ain't hit my growth spurt till like 10th grade.
10th grade.
But, anyway.
So you just came back like to school like once like after one summer like yo.
Yeah. Like I started from like 5'9" to like 6'2".
I'm still waiting
what?
on mine.
Yeah, 5'9" to like 6'2".
That's one hell of a growth spurt. Right?
Mine coming next year.
Nah, they'll say you don't stop growing until you like 27 though.
Yeah, I got a few more years.
Oh
so
man. Yo, I mean going pro is one of the hardest things. Being a pro athlete is one of the hardest things to accomplish in this world. What goes into it?
Man.
Like, what's the daily routine?
I mean, I think everybody's routine different. But like me personally, like it's a strict 7-day like it's strict like
no days off, 7 days straight.
I mean,
7 days a week.
Nah, not 7 days straight. I take into account like recovery days too. I think that's important. Like you get at least one or 2 days recovery, but like it's still like it's not just like you chilling on the couch like doing nothing. Like it's an active recovery day. Like maybe you go like for a jog or something or like stretch. You know, you still doing something, but it's just not as rigorous as like your other days would be. But it's definitely a 7-day like thing. And now like with accounting of like film and practice and all of that, like it's about a 10-hour day, like 10, 11-hour day.
7 days a week, pretty much.
Yeah, 7 days.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, I'm glad that you like worded it like a lifestyle, because you know a lot of people don't realize that it is a lifestyle. Like they just see the game, You know, they don't really see the outside stuff that's going on. Like, you gotta watch what you do, what you say, what you eat. Like, all that factor into your daily life. Like,
what you intake and what you put out.
It's so much that go into it that people don't realize, you know, because we got a lot of professionals on TV that make it look so easy. But it's a whole lifestyle, man. Like you said, it's like 10 hours some days 14 hours. You know, you just got to sacrifice to be a pro.
So let me ask you this. What's your favorite part of that routine? Because it's obviously a hard thing to do. You got to do it day in, day out. You wake up, you think about it. You go to sleep, you're thinking about it. But what's like your favorite part about it? Because it's a grind.
Yeah.
It's a grind. But what would you say is like, you know what? When it comes to this day, I like that day because that day is like, I mean, it could be easy. It could be the hard day. It could be like the day where you're working a lot. I don't know. But what's the favorite part of the grind for you guys?
I'm a fan. Like, I'm a fan before I'm a player. Like, in my mind. So like,
and that's important.
I love like when you watching on film and come game day, you like, dang, like I know exactly what they're doing here, and like you got the play call for it or whatever, and then you go and execute it. Like, so in that moment of like execution, you like, man, like I done rep this, like I done seen it. Like now I get a chance to go do it. So like for me personally, that's probably that's the best part.
My favorite part, I'll probably have to say, is practice, man. Like, I love practice. I probably go harder at practice than I do in the game. So that way, I know that sounds crazy, but it's
I was like, bang.
Yeah, but it's like when I get in the game, I've been here before. I did this like 1,000 times. What's draining to me is like the meetings and the schedule of all the other outside stuff. But like, I love to play football, so practice is the favorite part for me.
I mean, camaraderie during practice has to be incredible between like, you know, the entire team. How's that locker room like for the XFL Vipers?
Man, it's a pretty good group of guys. Like, not even talking about football. Like, it's a pretty good group of like dudes, like just good dudes. Like, everybody like get along real well. Like, everybody mesh real well. Like, it's not just one position talking to the same position. Like, everybody talk to everybody. They really it's really like a family. So.
A lot of common interests.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm going to make sure somebody laugh every day.
Yeah, a lot of characters for sure.
For sure?
Yeah. A lot of characters for sure.
Are you the Joker of the crew?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're the funniest on the team, pretty much.
Top three.
Top three?
Probably not
top
2 or 3. Probably 1.
Top 3. you probably in the top for sure. Top 5. I'll give you top 5.
Not 5.
Top 5.
Or 4 or 3 or 2.
What would be like, you know, something that you would do in the locker room to get everybody just like, you know, feeling those good vibes?
I randomly blurt out a lot of stuff, and I just
being himself.
Yeah, I just start singing or dancing, just anything. If I feel like it's too quiet, it's too quiet. I need to break that.
No, that's important. I that's like me. Like, yo, when it's too quiet, nah, it gives me anxiety. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, all right, yo, this is something ain't right, man. So somebody gotta like this fire real quick. You know what I mean? So, you know, now playing in the XFL and me being around it, you know, obviously I'm the team DJ. You know, but you know, I get to see a lot of culture. I get to see a lot of like, you know, things, and I get to learn a lot, you know, for the most part. But one takeaway that I've learned is that a lot of people that are playing in this league today are getting somewhat of a second chance at something. Like, the game was either taken away from them, or maybe like they didn't get drafted right away, or whichever. I mean, would you agree with that, or?
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, for sure. Even like talking with like the league, like owners and like everybody who like league office or whatever, like that's their goal for this league, and I think that's what everybody's getting, like the opportunity to just show what you can do. And
it's a beautiful thing.
Second chance, yeah.
To be able to watch that, especially as a fan, is a beautiful thing for me. So, you know, I mean, what was your journeys like getting it, you know, getting to where we're at today?
All right. So, after I left college, I had a pretty good career at college. You know, had a couple all conference, you know, whatever knickknacks here and there, and I was waiting around for the draft. I mean, I had enough of a career where I should have got an invite to the combine, but I didn't. So I just was working, just kept working. And then at some points, it's like you get to a point where it's like, dang, is it coming? Is it coming? But, you just keep your head down. And I got invited to the Philadelphia Eagles this past season for their I was with them during the preseason for a small stint of time. And, it was a number game at that point. And they released me. So I was back training. I'm back locked in. I'm like, hey, I know it's coming. It's just a matter of time. So I'm just working. Then Coach Woodson hit me up around November.
Shout out Coach one time.
Yeah, man. Hall of Famer, 71 interceptions. Shout out to my boy Woodson. One time for the one time. But, yeah, so he hit me up. He was like, we got this XFL thing jumping off, and, we think you'll be a great part of the team. We'd love to get you going. And I was like, man, I would love to. So that's a little short story. I've only been out of college for like a year now. So,
wow.
Yeah, my pro career ain't been that long, but, we hopeful for the best.
That's what's up. I mean, how about yourself?
Me, started, I went to NC State, went there 4 years, ended up grad transferring to Baylor. And after that, played in the NFL PA game. And in college, actually, I never, I only had one start, which was, unique about my situation. But, I got my attention from practice, scouts. We had a bunch of guys get drafted for NC State and Baylor too. But a bunch of scouts seen me in practice and just interested from what they seen, and got a invite to the NFL PA game. They ended up getting drafted, but went undrafted. And I actually went as a tryout, so that's you're only guaranteed 3 days as a rookie.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's rigorous right there. Yeah.
End up making
a lot of pressure.
End up making the team from that rookie mini camp, the Ravens. Then they end up letting me go shortly after. Then ended up signing with the Redskins. This was the same year Dwayne Haskins was got drafted. Mm-hmm. So finished training camp or whatever, get to the the end of preseason, they end up letting me go, and that's when the XFL started the first time. So end up doing the XFL in 2020. COVID happened. Was staying in shape, getting workouts during that COVID year or whatever. Nothing ended up shaking. And then fast forward to now, just stayed ready. 'Cause I knew I could still play. I feel
of course.
I know I got all the time in the world, but it's just about getting a chance and getting an opportunity. So Joey ended up calling the GM for our team, and I'm here.
The rest is history.
Yeah, the rest is history.
Here we are in Vegas. What's your favorite thing about Vegas, especially playing here? What's your favorite thing about the city?
Favorite thing about the city?
Casinos.
I ain't a gambling guy, so I probably say that the food.
Oh, the food here is out of control.
We used to talk about Lolo's, the chicken and waffle spot.
Yeah,
we gotta go again for sure.
Okay, so you like the casinos?
Yeah, I'm from the South. We got the best food. I can't even comment on that.
Okay. We'll give you that. Yeah. I've been there before, so I can't. I'm not gonna start a debate on that. You know what I mean? But we might have a little tag board poll on the podcast or something. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, Vegas is a very unique city. Even for myself, I'm born and raised in the Bay Area. I started my career out there, and then I got out here, because just like you guys, I wanted to go pro. I feel like this was for every professional in what I do as an entertainer, this is where it's at. It's either LA or here. But I've been here for quite some time, man, and the people here are probably my most favorite thing that I've ran into. And you guys get to experience that, pretty much every week after week with the fans out here. What's something that you can tell the fans about, what it's like to play in front of them?
Man, it's definitely a blessing for sure. You don't get to play in front of thousands of people often. That's anything, performer, entertainer, whatever. You don't get to do it often. So being able to even be in that position is a blessing for sure. And just knowing that the craziness that the fans bring. Obviously you got the Vegas Knights here. You got the the WNBA team here.
This is
got the
becoming
Raiders
a
here.
really big sports hub right now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, this is a sports town.
Man, I love how passionate the fans are. This is
Very.
year one for me. You know, first time this team being in Vegas, I think the fans are just so passionate. Like behind the bench, like we can hear them talking and yelling at us and all that. Like they love the Vegas Vipers.
Oh, I hear them. I'm right there.
Yeah.
I'm right there. I'm right behind y'all playing the joints. You know what I mean? So, they very passionate. They very passionate, man. For kids that are watching right now that have the dream of going pro, you know, as an athlete or anything that they could possibly dream of doing, what's the best piece of advice that you can give them?
The best piece of advice that I can give is, you know, always work hard. Like, I know that sounds so cliche. Like, that's what everybody say, work hard, you know, but it works, man. Like, hard work works. Like, God blessed me with talent, but talent didn't get me in this seat, like doing this podcast right now. I had to outwork everybody else because it's a lot of talented people out there. It's a lot of talented people. But I say if you work harder than the man next to you, you'll get as far as you want to go.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, and me, it might sound even a little controversial, but like it ain't as hard as it seems. Like, and I say that because if you got the right mindset, then like knowing that like what I have to do versus what I need to do. You know what I mean? Like if you look at it as like doing the things I need to be doing versus like what you want to be doing or think that you have to do. Like it ain't hard. Like it's not a hard, like at least for me it was never a hard decision. Like going to working out versus like doing something else. Like it was always like I'm definitely working out first, or like I'm definitely putting like football as priority, like over everything.
We making the deposit.
Yeah, like
You know what I mean?
you know what I'm saying? It's a positive. It's gonna pay off. It's gonna pay off, and that's in anything. It's not just in football. Like that's in life. Like it's gonna pay off in the end.
Yep.
But you gotta put in that effort though. You know, so like, you can't be half in and half out. Like put all effort in. Like.
And piggyback on what he was saying, like it's not as hard as you think. Like when I was coming out, they always said, you know, you got a 1% chance to get a D1 scholarship. You got a 1% chance to make it to the NFL. I think that stat is wrong. I think it's wrong, man. Because that 1% include all the kids who on your team who not working hard, who don't go to class every day, who don't do extra, who don't watch film. So you got to take in the factor of all that and realize that you got a better chance if you do everything right and you work harder than everybody else. Like, don't think about that 1%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Before we're out of here, tell them where they can catch more of you guys, obviously on the field at Cashman, but like, you know, where can they find you guys on social and whatnot?
Mine social JMac JMAC 2_ on Instagram, and then on Twitter is the same thing, but just add another underscore to it. So JMac 2_ Twitter, JMac 2_
Okay.
And you can find me on all platforms at Deandre Torrey. This is my name, DeandreTorrey.
Well, I appreciate y'all for being here. We're going to get this dub this weekend or what?
For sure.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. That's
Can't
what's
leave
up.
without it. Can't leave without it.
You know what it is, DJ E-Rock in the building, Culture Kings Las Vegas. Let's get it. The XFL Vipers are going to do their damn thing this weekend.
So.
We out.
So.